It happened years ago, maybe a decade, maybe more, and yet out of nowhere, while you're brushing your teeth or falling asleep or standing in line at the grocery store, it comes back. That thing you said, that way you tripped, that joke that landed with dead silence. Your whole body reacts, your face gets hot, your stomach tightens. You actually groan out loud alone in your own bathroom over something that happened when you were 19. Nobody else remembers it, nobody else cares, but your brain treats it like breaking news. Why won't it let this go? Here's the strange truth about embarrassment and memory. Your brain isn't malfunctioning when it replays that moment. It's doing exactly what it evolved to do, and understanding why takes you back to a world where your reputation wasn't just your reputation. It was your food, your shelter, and your chance to have children who survived. For most of human history, you didn't live among strangers. You lived in a group of perhaps 50 to 150 people. Everyone knew your name, everyone knew your face, everyone had an opinion about you, and that opinion followed you everywhere for your entire life. There was no moving to a new city to escape a bad reputation. There was no starting over. If the tribe decided you were untrustworthy, clumsy, or foolish, that judgment could follow you until you died. This is why psychologist Leon Festinger's research on social comparison theory matters here. Festinger found that humans are constantly, often unconsciously, measuring themselves against others in their group, not for fun, for survival. Because in a small tribe, your value relative to everyone else determined whether you got fed, whether you got chosen as a mate, whether anyone had your back when things went wrong. Embarrassment then isn't some modern glitch, it's an ancient alarm system. When you did something foolish in front of the group, your brain didn't just note it and move on, it flagged it as urgent, critical, a potential threat to your entire future. Because social rejection in a tribal environment wasn't just uncomfortable. Evolutionary psychologists have shown that ostracism, being cast out of the group, was often a death sentence. No tribe meant no protection from predators, no help gathering food, no one to assist you if you got injured or sick. Your brain still runs this calculation today, even though the stakes have completely changed. This is where researcher Robin Dunbar's work becomes essential. Dunbar proposed what's now called Dunbar's number, the idea that the human brain evolved to track and maintain relationships with roughly 150 people, not thousands, not millions, 150. That's the size of the social world your brain was built for. But you don't live in a group of 150 anymore. You live in a world of billions with social media, workplaces, extended networks, and constant exposure to strangers. Yet your brain still processes social mistakes as if the entire tribe is watching, judging, and deciding your fate. That awkward thing you said at a party in 2014, your brain filed it under existential threat. Here's where it gets even stranger. Psychologist Roy Baumeister's research on negative memory bias reveals that bad experiences are encoded into memory far more intensely than positive ones. Baumeister found that negative events are remembered in more detail with more emotional charge and for longer periods than equivalent positive events. A compliment fades within days. A moment of public embarrassment can stay vivid for decades. Why would evolution build a memory system that clings so tightly to your worst moments? Because in the ancestral environment, forgetting a mistake could mean repeating it, and repeating a social mistake could mean repeating rejection. If you offended a powerful member of your tribe once, you needed to remember exactly what you did wrong so you never did it again. Your brain wasn't trying to torture you, it was trying to protect you from making the same catastrophic error twice. This is called an aversive learning signal. Your brain treats embarrassing memories the way it treats touching a hot stove. It doesn't want you to intellectually understand not to do it again. It wants you to feel it so intensely that your body refuses to repeat the action. That's why the memory doesn't just appear in your mind calmly, it comes with a full physiological reboot. Your amygdala, the brain's threat detector, reactivates. Cortisol floods your system, your face flushes, your chest tightens, and you might actually flinch or cover your face, even though you're completely alone and nothing is happening to you right now. Neuroscientist Antonio Damasio's research on emotion and memory helps explain this. Damasio found that memories aren't stored as neutral facts. They're stored with what he called somatic markers, physical, bodily sensations attached to specific memories. This is why remembering an embarrassing moment doesn't feel like reading a news article about someone else's life. It feels like it's happening to you right now, in your body, in real time. Your brain is essentially running a rehearsal, reactivating the exact physical state you were in during the original event so you remain hyper alert to avoid ever creating that state again. There's another layer here, and it's called the spotlight effect. Psychologist Thomas Gilovich demonstrated that people dramatically overestimate how much others notice and remember their mistakes. In his research, participants who wore an embarrassing t shirt into a room estimated that nearly half the people in the room would remember it. In reality, less than 10% did. You are the main character in your own memory, but you are at most a background extra in everyone else's. That person who saw you trip in the hallway? They forgot about it within minutes. Their brain was busy running its own threat detection loop about their own embarrassing moments. Everyone is the star of their own tragic blooper reel, and almost no one is paying attention to yours. But knowing this rationally doesn't stop the memory from resurfacing, because the spotlight effect operates on a conscious, reasoning level, and your embarrassment response operates on a much older, faster, more primitive level. You can know intellectually that nobody remembers what you said in 2014, and your amygdala will still fire like a burglar alarm the next time your brain randomly retrieves that memory while you're trying to fall asleep. This is the mismatch at the heart of the modern human experience. Your rational mind lives in 2024, understanding nuance, context, and forgiveness. But your emotional alarm system still lives in a world of 150 people where one mistake could end you. And there's one more twist. Your brain doesn't file embarrassing memories away and leave them alone. It periodically resurfaces them, seemingly at random, as a kind of maintenance check. Some researchers believe this is your brain's way of testing whether the threat still applies, reactivating the memory, monitoring your emotional and physical response, and essentially asking, are we safe now? Or do we still need to avoid this behavior? The problem is that this system was calibrated for a world where social mistakes had permanent consequences within a small, fixed group. In your world, the stranger from that party moved away years ago. The person who saw you slip on the ice doesn't even remember your name. The social consequences your ancient brain is protecting you from often don't exist anymore. But the system doesn't know that. It just knows bad thing happened, replay it, feel it, stay alert. So the next time that memory surfaces, unwanted and uninvited, while you're trying to enjoy your coffee or drift off to sleep, you'll understand what's actually happening. You are not broken, you are not overly sensitive. Your brain is running a threat detection protocol that was perfected over hundreds of thousands of years to keep you inside the safety of your tribe. It just hasn't caught up to the fact that your tribe today is not 150 people who remember everything forever. It's a world of strangers who forgot about you within minutes, running their own private replay of their own most embarrassing moment. That thing you said years ago wasn't a catastrophe. It was never being watched as closely as you think. Your ancestors built this alarm system to keep you safe inside a small, unforgiving world. You're still carrying it, but you don't have to believe everything it tells you.